Namaskaram, en per Manya. நான் ஒரு 41 ஃபிலிம்ஸில் ஹீரோயினாக ஒர்க் பண்ணியிருக்கேன் in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada. இப்போ I work as an internal auditor in a bank in New York City. I'm also a mother and I'm here to share my story from being a film actress to a corporate professional with all of you. And let me start from the beginning. I was born in India. I have a younger sister. My mom is a homemaker. My dad was a doctor. Dad got a job in London, so we all moved to London when I was around 3.5 years old. And we moved to London. We were there for like 7 to 8 years, and we moved back to India because my dad wanted to open a hospital in India. But unfortunately, my dad suffered from a very massive heart attack and passed away when I was a teenager. That completely shattered our lives, uprooted me completely because I was a good student, I was studying well, and we didn't know what to do. So mom comes from a very conservative family and she was married to my dad when she was very young. So she has never been independent in her life. She's never worked like another job in her life. She's taken care of us all her life. I could see the helplessness in her eyes. She did not know what to do. She had 2 daughters to take care of, no financial support or security, and she did not want to get remarried because she was worried about our safety. Completely helpless. At that point, it was like a blessing from God that I got an offer to do a modeling session for Shri Kumaran Silks. So I did the modeling session for Kumaran Silks, and those photos, YVS Chowdhury, Telugu director, saw those photos and he gave me an offer for my first Telugu movie, Sita Ramaraju. The movie had Nagarjun Garu, Hari Krishna Garu, and I paired opposite Ravi Teja Garu in that. It was well received and people liked me a lot, and even before the release of that movie I started getting multiple offers. I did one more movie called English Pellam East Godavari Mogdu with Ramya Krishna and Srikanth, and then I got my first Malayalam movie Joker, for which I won the Kerala State Film Critic Award. So like that I started getting offers in all languages and I got very busy. But deep in my heart I always had missed that feeling of having completed my education. I used to love mathematics and I couldn't complete my education. So there was always that pain that I couldn't finish my education. And so I started doing movies. I did 41 movies as a lead. I made enough money. And at one point I was having a conversation with the producer's son, and he told me, oh, actresses, all you have to do is look pretty, dance well, and cry nicely. It hurt me. It was very demeaning. I am intelligent, I am smart, and I'm not just a doll who can look pretty and act well. And even acting is a difficult job. And I am sure many actresses will agree with that. So it was kind of demeaning. And at that point I had made enough money to take care of my family. So all the money that I made, I left it with my mom. And I already had a visa because I used to go for shows to US. So I came to US. I took the GED exam. So I didn't have a high school certificate. So I took the GED exam, which is an equivalent to a high school certificate. And then I took the SAT exam, which was so difficult because I was studying after so many years. And the SAT is a reading and math test that's very time based on time. So I'm not good when I'm under time pressure, but I really worked hard to take that exam. So I took the exam, I got a decent score. Then I applied to NYU and to Columbia University. Frankly, I didn't even have the courage to dream that I would ever study in an Ivy League. I am the first in my family to go to an Ivy League college, and I never thought that would ever be possible. When I got accepted to Columbia University, even today my heart pounds. That my happiness, I cried so much in the campus. I was so happy. I didn't think this would be possible. But getting into Columbia University was the easiest part. Completing my 4 years undergrad there was the most difficult phase of my life. Why? I chose math and statistics as my major, and the very first probability exam that I took, I failed. Here in the US, the scores are based on the curve, and the curve is based on the students in your class. All the students in the class that I was sitting were one younger than me, super intelligent students who were studying math and statistics, and did not have a gap in their education. I had almost an 8 to 10 year gap in my education. They had no gap in their education. So I was competing with these super intelligent kids and trying to pass my exams based on that curve. I was shattered. Still remember, there's this huge lion in the campus. I went and I sat under the lion and I started crying. I wanted to give up. I thought maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not meant to have an education. Maybe I'm really not intelligent. Maybe acting is my forte, and maybe I'm not smart enough to have an education. And I broke down. I cried a lot. And then something in me said, try, don't give up. See if you can do it. Work hard. If you can, you can. If you don't, then let's see what will happen. I got up. The next 4 years of my life, I had no social media. I had no other life except for my school and my studies and my education, whatever it is. Even I think there was one media person in Telugu who actually wrote that I had committed suicide because nobody could find any traces of me. So it was that bad. I completely isolated myself, focused on my education, and I graduated in 2013, full honor with honors in mathematics and statistics, and with a full scholarship and a GPA of 4.0. I only paid for my first semester at Columbia. For the other semesters, I got a full ride because of my GPA and my major too, because I was a STEM student. That was the biggest accomplishment of my life. I was also doing an internship throughout those 4 years. I was working and studying. And then 2013, when I graduated, my husband proposed to me. So I got a job at JP Morgan in asset management, and I was doing a job. I got married, and then was another struggle in my life. I have stage 4 endometriosis, and it was very difficult for me to conceive. And I struggled almost for 5 years to conceive Omi. I had to go through a lot of heartache. A lot of women know what I'm talking about, because you know how it is when you have a miscarriage, or when you try to get pregnant, it doesn't work out, and you're trying and trying. And I really wanted to have a child in my life. So it was very disheartening, and I was going through a lot of physical and emotional phase in my life, but I kept going on with my corporate job. Finally, I got pregnant with Omi, and that was the biggest blessing in my life. So I got blessed with Omi, even though it was a very difficult C-section, and I was in the ICU, she was in the NICU. We finally, thank God, we are healthy today. And finally, I had Omi. Next was the new challenge of balancing between a corporate job and between having a baby. In the US, the maternity leave is only 4 months. So Omi was 4 months old when I had to go back to my job. The first day when I went back to my job, I cried so badly. I went into the bathroom. I had a meeting, I remember. It was from 8 to 9 in the morning. After the meeting, I went into the bathroom and I cried, because all I wanted was just to hold Omi. And as a mother, you know, you're feeding your child, and you want your child at that point. It was emotionally very, very difficult for me to leave Omi and to go back to my job. There was a point when I decided I'm going to quit my job, because Omi, I had struggled to have Omi. And finally, when I have her, I'm not able to be with her. So there was a point in my life when I decided I'm now going to quit my job, and I'm just going to be a mother and be with Omi. At that point, a flash, this came into my mind. My mother's face, helpless face, when my dad passed away. Life is very unpredictable. We don't know what turn life will take. And I think it's very important for us to be independent. That fear in my mother's eyes when my dad passed away came to my mind. And I remembered her face. And then I decided, you know what? I'm not going to leave my job. I'm going to manage and balance between my corporate job and between taking care of Omi as a mother. My mom, even today I need her, she helped me. She said, don't worry, you go do your job. I will be there to supervise and help take care of Omi. I had a nanny. My mom used to supervise the nanny. And finally, I continued my job. It was a state in my life when it was very difficult for me to balance between a corporate job and between being a mother. And it was also one of the most important lessons I learned as a woman, because the hurdles a woman has to face between balancing a job, a career, and being a mother is is much more than what a man has to face. And I think it's not easy because we have two jobs. We have one job in the office, and then we have a job when we come back home, because we have to cook, we have to clean, we have to take care of our child, and so on. So it was very difficult. But in spite of it, in spite of all the difficulties what I faced, I want to tell all of you women out there, the most important thing is to be independent. Life is very uncertain. We don't know how life takes its turns. And you have to be financially independent to be able to take care of yourself, to be able to take care of your parents, and to be able to take care of your family or children. So it's important for you that you have a job and you're financially independent. It's also important that you're financially independent so you don't take any abuse from anybody, because it's not right. So it's only when you're financially independent that you can fight against domestic abuse. And another most important thing is, our children look at us at every minute, right? Our children look up to us. Our children learn from us. Your daughter, when she sees you being independent and strong, will also know that she has to be independent and strong. Your son, who looks at you, will respect women who are independent and strong. So I think we women have to be financially independent to be able to show to the society and to the kids that we can manage on our own, and we can also fight against abuse and fight against things that are not right. The next important thing I want to share with all of you is, never give up. You're never too old, or you never say that you're too old to do anything. It's never too late to get back. Even if you have children who are toddlers, or even if you have children who are teenagers, if you're in your mid-30s, 40s, 50s, it's never too late to study and to come back and to educate yourself, or to come do a job, or to come back to the workforce. It's never too late. So never give up. Even today, however old you are, it's never too late to come back to the workforce and to be independent. And the third most important thing I want to share with all of you is, as women, we need to empower other women. We need to support each other. And that's very important. Today, I have a great group of girlfriends here who support me at every point, who listen to me, who we struggle together, we support each other. So that's important. And this is where Prayaana plays a very important role. Today, Prayaana has taken, the main aim of Prayaana is to empower at least 1 million women by 2030 by providing them career support services so that they can come back to the workforce. That C2C Mission 2021, the aim of that mission is actually to empower 2021 women by the end of 2021 by providing them mentoring services by other women mentors. I think this is an excellent step taken by Dr. Chandravadana, who is a CEO and founder, to empower women and to give them the support. And I really think this is the best thing we can do to support each other. And I want to give a special thanks to Sai Karuna Pinapala, who's not just family to me, but she's also a strong, independent, self-made woman herself, for actually introducing me to Prayaana and for making me a part of this conference. I'm really very proud of her, proud of Prayaana, and I really wish you all the best. And as women, I think it's very important for us to support each other like this, and to provide as much mentoring as we can to uplift each other, because the society will only change, and change will only come the day we are all educated and we're independent. When you are independent, you are empowered, and that's it. I hope my story inspired all of you. I was much older when I went back to study, so I hope it inspired all of you to be independent and to do what you really love. Thank you so much.